that.
Yeah. Now you see the next game coming up, right? Obviously it's tomorrow night.
Yep, at Cleveland.
At Cleveland. What do they have to do, Hunty, in order to keep that game close and have an opportunity at the end to steal it away?
Right.
Cleveland, Mike Brown is one of the worst coaches in the NBA, just because they have a great record every year. The team isn't even listening to him anymore. If you read some of the comments after the game, I don't think him and LeBron are getting along at all. But what's going to happen is LeBron's going to cover Rondo. That's not going to be good news for Rondo. What we need, therefore, is for Paul Pierce to step up and finally have a 25 to 30-point game. We still need 20 from Ray Allen. They can't win a game unless Ray Allen
has 20. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Even if Pierce has 5, if for some reason Ray Allen is 100% the key to that.
He is.
So if LeBron covers Rondo, it may give him some trouble. Rondo can still get out in transition.
Yeah. I don't think
maybe make LeBron.
I think LeBron.
I'm in total disagreement with the Shocker.
I don't think LeBron can cover Rondo.
I would love to see it.
I would too.
I think LeBron is just going to get worn out. It's going to affect his offense. And you know what?
Be interesting.
Foul trouble.
Exactly.
I mean, Rondo can beat him off a dribble.
He can. Yeah. This is the NBA. They're not.
I know.
In
fact, we'll talk about that in about a couple minutes. Yeah. The referees are terrible.
Awful. They have Parker covering him right now, who's pretty good defensively.
I kind of feel bad for him.
But the whole thing, all you see is Parker is like Darren trying to cover me.
Yeah.
The whiplash. That's all he's getting right there, you know? I mean,
and
it's
the key is also to have no Shaq in the lane. Get Shaq in foul trouble. Kendrick Perkins, if you want to show up in this series, that'd be appreciated.
I know.
Yeah.
Get Shaq in foul trouble. Get him to the bench. The lane is wide open for Rondo. Boom.
You say in trouble. I'm just saying, just run this team, and Shaq can't stick with him. He cannot stay with his team. If they run him,
old and fat.
If they run him, he's only good for the first 10, 12 minutes. And he's reaching, putting his arm up. I need air. I need air.
Honest to God, though, the Shock is right. Mike Brown, I don't know what he's doing. Taking Shaq out of that game yesterday, Shaq was killing him. All right, thank you. I don't know if Stern called him up and said, hey, we need a Game 7 in this series because every other series is pretty much done.
I think all the rest wear like a beeper or something. It just goes off.
Yeah. It's like that Buffalo commercial where they want the, hey, we need overtime.
Spreading his eyes. Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, God. But Shaq dominated inside that whole game, and they take him out in like the second half. Didn't understand it, but
also, if I was Mike Brown, I would bench Jamison. Varejao gives Garnett all sorts of problems.
Jameson looks. I mean, how about Jameson? He missed 3 bunnies yesterday.
Yep. He's terrible.
Because he's afraid. He's soft. Shark has said it before. He's very soft.
Yeah. I mean, he can score a little bit, but it's not worth it because Garnett's getting 18.
Right.
Oh, Garnett's at ease with these too. Even when Shaq was covering him, he's just bringing Shaq outside and just beating him back door for the dunks. You know what I mean?
What a game, though. What a game.
Everyone's dismissing the Celts can't beat Cleveland on the road, not Game 5. Well, they already did. Yes. But is it going to be a tough game? Of course. It's on the road. Cleveland's got to be pissed up yesterday.
Crazy.
But you know what? They can steal this one. Yeah. They can get this thing. I don't see them losing a Game 6 at home. Tomorrow is it. I do not want to go to Game 7 Cleveland. I don't because, I called it. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Celtics, but I think if they go Game 7, Cleveland, it's going to be Cleveland. But tomorrow is the game of this series, in my mind.
It's a game of the year. I mean, the whole thing is like, but you guys brought up earlier about LeBron James, and tell you, if he runs by you, they're calling a foul on you.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean,
how about the one on Garnett yesterday? Garnett, Jameson going for a loose ball. No, it was Varro. It was Varro going for a loose ball. He didn't even hit him.
And they call
So I'm like, all right, it's Boston ball.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden I'm looking, and even my father's like, what are they calling? What are they calling? I go, what's going on? It's just Boston ball. I'm like, they show the replay. Nothing. You're right. Maybe there is a puzzle. There's something wrong with the NBA. And I'm not just saying on Boston's part. There's some terrible calls everywhere.
Think about what they average. They're averaging like 34 free throws a game in Cleveland. I mean, that's...
How many did Rondo shoot yesterday?
At least, 15 or 16?
Gotta
it's
be.
crazy.
He must have been
the problem is Kendrick Perkins, and he dug his own grave.
He does.
They call tic-tac fouls on him because they hate him. And if he would just shut his mouth for a year,
I agree.
Dig in, he could get all defensive third team maybe. He could just make his rep as that. Instead, he whines and complains, and then and now we have Rasheed Wallace covering Shaq.
Well, hey, but finally he came out and played though. He finally came out and played his game.
They were hacking Shaq.
And the whole thing was this.
Hack-a-Shaq.
What coach came up with that?
And that's great. But it goes Van Gundy?
Yeah, it was Van Gundy.
They might want to hack a Rondo, actually, because
his
weakness is, if he has any, is his free throw shooting.
Yeah, it is. But listen.
But Wallace, one thing about Wallace, we've been hammering Wallace the last few weeks. It's the first game. And you said, hey, you know what? You're here for the playoffs, finally play. I think this game might open his eyes and, hey, you know, we need you. I mean, their bench played well.
I think you got the wrong guy. I was just going to say, we've been badgering him. He was part of the game. Obviously, Rondo was the main part.
Yeah.
But if Tony Allen doesn't come in for Paul Pierce and give us any productive minutes, we lose that game.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Allen came in 15 points, but played stellar D.
He did.
He was all over the place.
Slashes, you know what?
Him and Big Baby. Big Baby.
Do you guys like kind of cringe when he shoots? I'm always
me too.
oh, please go in.
Him and Rondo, I cringe until it goes in. I'm like, yeah, good shot, good shot. But let's go with predictions because not predictions, past predictions because Shock is right on the money. Me and you, we should quit. I said Atlanta's going to. I said, hey,
Orlando.
I said Atlanta's going to beat Orlando.
If you're a betting man,
God.
I don't know, if Randy's going to touch on this in the coming weeks. Get your money on Orlando in the East.
Seriously.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know if we all thought like this going. I know Shock and he's been saying this team since the get-go. I was saying Cleveland, Boston is the team. Whoever wins that series is going to the NBA championship. Is going to the NBA championship. But I watched Orlando the other day, Jay. This team is for real, and they have mismatches for either one of these teams.
Yeah,
either one.
Jamal Nelson is the key to this team. I honestly believe it.
Dwight Howard. He's
but the problem is he can't shoot free throws. And you know what? If you push him outside more than 8 feet, he has no turnaround jump shot. The guy who I love in that team is Lewis, Rashad Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
That's a kid who
he
can take you inside, outside. And, you know, he scares the heck out of me. Plus, they got a great bench. J.J. Redick. I mean, they're a great team. I just don't like them. Vince Carter. I mean,
they overpaid for their backup center, but now they have maybe the best backup center in the league.
It's not a far-fetched to say we could be seeing an Orlando-Phoenix NBA championship because if you're talking about the two teams that are playing the best ball in the playoffs, it's them two. Phoenix just demolished your team.
You know, who did Steve Nash look like with that big black guy?
You, when your son hit you.
I was going to say that. That black guy reminded me of myself. My son Patty hit me with a left hook.
Goonies. The Goonies guy.
Yeah, the Goonies guy, exactly.
A throw mama from the train guy.
Yeah, I mean.
Woman, actually.
I mean, it was, you know what? Nash, one eye goes out and plays, and it's still a great game. I mean, that Phoenix team, that's why I say Stoudemire is the key to the free agency next year. Right. Wherever he goes, if he goes with LeBron or if he goes with Wade.
You like Amari Stoudemire more than Bosh, huh?
Oh, love him more than Bosh.
Wow.
Love him. Because I tell you now, he plays, it's a different presence out there. He just plays so strong and so.
I don't think you can go wrong with either one, but.
No, if I'm going to pick, I'm going to go Stoudemire just because of the way I think he lines up better with those two guys. It's another option inside. Yeah. But let's get it going. Celtics on tomorrow night. What's your prediction for tomorrow night and also with the rest of the series?
I think Cleveland comes back and wins tomorrow night, unfortunately, because if we don't see Paul Pierce,
killing me.
If we don't see Paul Pierce show up in the series, we're not going to win it. We're not going to win it. I mean, he's got to show up. I think they can win at home very easily, and then Game 7, anything can happen. Celtics had the best road record, I believe, in the NBA this year. They've already won in Cleveland. They can win. They can win one of these last two.
Dees, what do you think?
I think Cleveland wins tomorrow night. It's going 7. I just don't like their chances at Cleveland in Game 7.
I think Boston's getting 5 points tomorrow. I take Boston with the 5. I'll tell you right now. You know, hey,
no pun intended.
Did you know Cleveland was favored by 1 after getting demolished at home going to Boston?
I know.
I believe it.
Amazing.
I believe it. But you know what? I like. Listen, I'm a homer. I'm not going to say anything different.
You are.
I want the Celtics to take it. I want to crush LeBron. I want to see the kid cry. Yep. Okay. I want to see him go wherever he wants to go next year. I don't care where he goes. Okay. I want Orlando. And I want to beat Orlando this time because I think 2 years ago they got lucky in Game 7 to beat us.
They didn't have KG,
last year.
Star.
And on the other side, the West, man, I gotta go with Phoenix because they crushed my team, San Antonio.
And I hate the Lakers. They're the Yankees to me. I hate the Lakers. I hate the Lakers. I hate the Lakers.
Can Paul Gasol, can he cry anymore?
I hate that whole team.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean,